Going live. Hey everybody, GameHounds here. It is a two-man team today, two-person team, two chairs. Andrew couldn't be here today because he got called into work. One of his coworkers, I guess, had an accident, a bicycle accident. So yeah. So we got Nick and me.
I was like, wasn't
Your
there
microphone.
a car accident that happened
I thought he said
with
it was
him a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, he had an accident with his truck a few weeks ago, and then this is a coworker that had a bike accident and busted himself up pretty bad, I guess. Bad enough it can't work.
Vehicular mayhem following Andrew around.
Yep. So you might notice new glasses today. So here's the update on the puppy.
Oh no. Oh, I thought it was gonna be like, oh, I got a new prescription or something like that.
Oh, I did get a new prescription. So this is the first time I have ever ordered glasses online. By the way, it works great. I went down, I got my prescription, and instead of spending $1,200 for two pairs of glasses, I spent $120, $190 on two pairs of glasses.
Oh,
I have
okay.
my distance glasses for when I'm driving and my computer glasses. So I got them in the mail last night. And I'm sitting on my couch and I open them up and I'm trying them on. I'm like, this is cool. So I'm trying to decide which glasses are the better glasses to use by distance for gaming, my distance glasses or my computer glasses. Because the TV's kind of in that mid-range. And so I have both pairs of glasses out. I'm switching back and forth between them, and they're sitting on the coffee table. So I decide, okay, I think my distance glasses will work better. Cool. So then it's like 2:00 in the morning. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to the bathroom and then I'm going to walk the dogs. So I go in, I go to the bathroom. I come out and I see the black bag that the glasses come in the middle of the dining room. I'm like, shit, puppy, don't touch the bag. Because I'm thinking, because this is actually supposed to be the cleaning cloth. And I'm like, oh, she's got her face on the cleaning cloth.
Yeah.
No. A second later, I find the glasses, and I don't know if you can see the teeth marks. The glasses are completely tweaked. They're just sitting there, and they're just obviously been chewed on. So I didn't own these glasses. I had to kind of bend them back so I can wear them, but
Okay.
I have to. I own them all of maybe 4 hours before the dog. She bypassed my old glasses. She literally crawled over my old glasses to get to the brand fucking new glasses and chew the shit out of them.
Yeah, she knew.
So angry. I'm still so angry at that dog. The only thing that is a kind of a bonus, I mean, the good side of it is that these glasses are really inexpensive. I mean, surprisingly inexpensive.
Okay.
I think I spent $70 for these, like with prescription and everything, as opposed to like $200 for my prescription for the computer glasses. And I paid up. I mean, I got my distance glasses. I paid up for these, for the super light frames and the transitions and the whole 9 yards. These actually turn into sunglasses during the day.
Oh, so yeah, those seem neat.
Right. And they're really nice to have, especially if you are out driving, because then you can move back and forth. But yeah, if she'd have gotten these, I'd have been pissed. But because these were the ones that were the most expensive.
I mean, I feel like watch them, because that's probably next on her list.
Oh yeah, no. The glasses now live on my my mixer board. That dog. If I catch her trying to wreck my glasses again, I will murder that dog. Just so you know. If I go to jail for animal cruelty, it is A, because she chewed on a pair of glasses, and B, totally justified. That dog is a little fuckhead. She is an asshole. So yeah.
The things they don't tell you about puppies. They look all cute, and then when you get them home,
And you get them home and you find out they're little assholes. And they're little assholes for a real long time. Now she's getting very specific. She doesn't, it used to be she'd chew anything. Now she bypasses the unimportant stuff and knows instinctually what's the important and expensive stuff and goes straight the fuck for that.
mhm.
Now it's personal. But otherwise, she's good. So welcome to GameHounds Podcast. If you are unfamiliar, I am Edie Sellers. With me is Nick DiNicola. And that is because today is our 600th episode. 600 episodes.
That's pretty good.
That's a lot of episodes.
Yeah.
Considering that I've done more than 600 episodes. Because at one point we were doing, I mean, this is numbered on just the main GameHounds podcast. At one point I was doing 2 shows a week. The GameHounds podcast and the Hump Date. And then that doesn't count all of the PAX and E3.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And all that stuff. That doesn't count as an episode. So yeah, that's a lot of episodes.
Yeah,
So
it's going for a long time. Like to have a single thing go for that long is pretty impressive.
Slice Levin says, yeah, I got a 5-month-old lab who loves to chew up carpet. Yeah. She'll flip over the carpets and go for the carpet, the padding, and just chew the padding up. Just 1 minute she's up in your lap and she's totally cuddling with you. She's like, oh, I love you. You're the girl, the best. I love you. Hold on a moment. Chew, 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 chew. Hey, Blood Reaper. We got Blood Reaper in the chat room. I don't have much stories to talk about. Well, first off, let's
Okay. Yeah.
outline what
Okay, I was gonna
games.
say, is this still the pre-show?
Yeah, it's a pre-show.
Okay. I finished Olija, which
Can
I
you
now know. It's
Oh, okay.
Olija.
Olija, Legion, right?
Played Quantum Break.
Quantum Break. Okay.
And the Dark Alliance.
Okay.
Like 2 hours.
D&D Dark Alliance. You and I will disagree. We'll talk about this. This is a very divisive game. This is a very divisive game.
Maybe I'll we'll talk about it.
Yep. Don't wreck it. Anything else?
That's all I played.
Yeah, that's all I played. All right, so I can get rid of all these demos that you did. World War Z, City Skyline, Dead Cell, Cat Lateral Damage. Okay. So now news we gotta talk about.
There's a rumor about a Ghost of Tsushima mini sequel. Yeah, I guess mini sequel is the right word. Or what did they? Someone expand alone.
Expand alone? Oh, that's a nice one. I like that.
That was like what the rumor person specifically described it as. So that may be an insider term.
Blue Box Kojima Conspiracy. Conspiracy debunked. Or
Yeah,
so
Miles is super into Outer Worlds. I think I might finally start playing that after I finish Quantum Break, because I'm sort of back into the Xbox Game Pass ecosystem.
What else did I have? Oh, Marvel's Avengers leaks streamers' IPs for a full day.
Wasn't that last week?
What was this week?
We didn't talk about that last week?
I texted it to you this week.
Oh, okay.
Because it was so bad. Anything else?
Yeah. Ubisoft renders a single player game unbeatable with by turning off the servers. I guess a DRM renders a Ubisoft single player game unbeatable. There are hints of a Dead Space revival.
Okay.
Cyberpunk is now available on PS4 with a warning.
Okay.
And then my personal favorite is players found a murder door in Call of Duty Warzone.
Okay.
That's that. Yep.
That's
I guess.
all.
Oh yeah. Battlefield 4 servers get overloaded following the 2042 announcement.
Oh, crap. What did I do? BF4 servers
Overloaded after 2042 reveal.
After 2042 reveal. Okay. All I got.
Yes, that's it. Is what a bong. Bitters is that for us? Where? I'm looking at Edie's background and I can't see
I'm
anything.
trying to think something that is a bong.
I'm looking in my background and I'm like, does he mean like
here?
the books?
It probably is yours because I mean you can't really see much of anything other than bags and paperwork.
What is this?
On
Books?
Nick's shelf.
Model?
Yeah, no, Nick is. Have you ever been high, Nick?
Yeah.
When was the last time you were high?
Probably like a couple weeks ago.
Really? Look at you.
I remember I bought
Oh, edibles.
No. After that, because I was like, these edibles kind of suck. I got one of those little vape pins, and
so you're doing oil now.
There's a store that's like a good 40-minute walk from me, and so every now and then I'm like, you know what? I need to get out, walk there and back. Like it's a good hour and a half, 2 hour.
So walk. It's a health trip. You're doing it for your health.
Oh yeah, health trip. Yeah. And it gives me time to catch up on podcasts and like audiobooks. And so I'm like, oh yeah, and we get something pretty good out of it too.
So one of the tenants, did I mention this? There's a cannabis retailer that it wants to move into my family's building. My family's.
I just want to say, Miles says he was high this AM. So well, I assume you might mean that thing. That's just like a model.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah. I do it for my health. LOL. He does it for his health too. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. No, we're in this. We're health freaks.
Oh yeah. We'll do that and then I go to the gym.
You know, whiskey's made out of barley and wheat. Vodka's made out of potatoes. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm a vegetarian.
See, I just skip all the steps and like eat wheat and potatoes raw.
Corey Wallace says, "Ooh, Nick on drugs. This should be good." No, I don't have I never even seen you high.
I guess
You've
not.
never seen I am not a good person high. I take that back.
Really?
I am a lot of fun on edibles. I am a lot of fun on edibles, but any like breathables? Oh yeah, no, I
Really?
am utterly consumed with paranoia. Holy
Wow.
shit, do I turn paranoid? Like not and it people are like, "Oh, you're smoking the wrong stuff. You should be smoking sativa instead of indica." And it's like or indica instead of sativa and it's like, "No, no, no, no." It all goes directly into the part of my head that I do a good job of suppressing that is my own personal like hell of uh
Wow.
being self-conscious and self-loathing. And I will just put myself in a corner and be like, "Don't move, don't move, don't move," because you're just embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing yourself. Just so I will. It's couch lock, but it's not couch lock because the couch has taken a hold of
So
me. It is me trying to bury myself in the couch so no one can see me.
so I've heard that like, different strains get you high in different ways. Does any of that matter to
I
you?
have
Or it just
never. I
all
have
of
been
it does the same thing?
All of it does the same thing, and I have been
Wow.
told by numerous people that it's like, "Well, you just need somebody to walk you through it." I'm like, "Okay, fine, let's do this." And it's like, "Oh, yeah, no, you really don't react well to, like, breathables." Like, "Yep,
Hmm.
just give me an edible. I know it takes a really long time. Give me a freaking" the only one that does not screw me over is something called AK-47, which is a terrible name for a a strain of weed that has almost zero THC in it. It
Hmm.
is almost all cannabinoids. So it doesn't ever really make you high. You just kind of get a little floaty. You can smoke a lot of AK-47 and not get very high.
That seems to defeat the entire purpose.
Right, exactly. I mean, you get high. I get very relaxed with that one, but not nearly as but I'm nowhere near as fun as on as an edible. Like give me any kind of weed as an edible. I'm rolling on the floor laughing my ass off.
Hmm.
And it's not scary. So,
I remember I just feel like the traditional uh oh man, this is all so awesome. It's definitely good if you like some movies are really great high, just
mhm.
like because of the subject matter that's already trippy. Uh there's a movie on Netflix
Uh-huh.
that I will say by itself one of the best movies I've seen this year.
Yeah.
I love it. It's called Synchronic.
Mhm.
It is about people getting high, but it's basically like it's a mystery about time travel, but it's got this really good atmosphere to it that almost treats time travel as a serial killer.
Mhm.
And so it's really neat the way that like when people take the synchronic drug in the movie and time starts to mix, like it is really trippy. Um, and so obviously if you just add to that. And
Yeah.
second episode of Loki too.
Oh, good to know.
Very, very fun high, which is
So
also like
I blame my paranoia probably, and this is going to sound weird, but I didn't mind getting high too badly until I was in college and I got very, very high and I went to one of those,
I mean,
we call them indie theaters now, but they were just kind of,
they were just
off the
called
beat.
theaters back
They're
then.
just called theaters then. That it was they played something called or discount theater is what we call them. They played a movie called Koyaanisqatsi.
I've heard of that. That
Yeah.
features landscape.
It is Koyaanisqatsi means apparently in some language I don't remember, a life out of balance, and it was a lot of either super slow mo or super fast mo landscapes so that it's just with music behind it. And it is an absolutely fascinating movie. It is definitely an art piece. But
Is
yeah,
that
it is a good movie to watch high. But I think wrecked me.
is that fuck, what's the dude that everyone loves? He's got the great narrator voice, the German. It's not Warren Ellis. It's the guy that starts with a W though. Warner Herzog.
Werner Herzog. I don't know if it's Werner Herzog. Koya Anaskatsi.
Okay.
Koya Anaskatsi is from 1982, and it was an experimental film by Jeffrey Reggio with music composed by Philip Glass, and the cinematography was Ronald Fricke.
So yeah,
there's
probably not.
Hopi. That's what it was. The Hopi language. Koya Anaskatsi means life out of balance. It was the first in the Katsi film trilogy, succeeded by Pau Askatsi and Nakoi Skatsi.
What do those ones mean?
The trilogy depicts different aspects of the relationship between humans, nature, and technology. Koyaanisqatsi is the best known of the trilogy and is considered a cult film. However, because of copyright issues, the film was out of print for most of the 1990s. In 2000, the film was selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry by the Library of Congress for being culturally, aesthetically, or historically significant. It is pretty cool. If you really want to go like have a movie to just zone to, it is the movie version of a walking simulator.
Neat. Yeah. I've seen some clips of it, and it's just like it's if it was a video game, we'd be like, oh man, this is the greatest tech demo ever.
Exactly. Let's see if I can pull. I have to pull up a share screen anyway, so stand by. Let me, because I need to get my share screens going so they work properly. Yeah, let's go to that one, and then let's look up, see if I can get something on Koyaanisqatsi here.
Is that the whole movie?
Oh, they actually have the whole movie there. Yeah, there we go.
This one's only 10 minutes. Oh, I guess this is part one of something.
It's just like, either super slow-mo or super fast mo. That looks like it's the
a rocket.
Yeah, rocket taking off, probably Apollo 11. Yeah, there's a reason why it's pirated stuff. We'll fast forward a little bit.
Yeah, see, this is the kind of things that the clips I've seen are like, hey, here's a vast, neat landscape. Let's stare at it for 5 minutes.
This would be a game. This is a movie that would do very well with having what's the word I want? A 4K. Be redone in 4K.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a totally experimental film.
I imagine a 4K version. That's what you would see playing on TVs at Best Buy.
Yep. So yeah, very cool movie. But anyway, oh damn it! I closed that window. Didn't want to. Let's go back. All right, let's go to the U of Tube. All right. Anything else before we start the show, dude?
No, but I see us live, the thumbnail of us live.
Yeah. All right. So let's do this. Since we're only 35 minutes late to start the show.
Video games, modern culture, and technology. And these podcasters are big fat potty mouths. If you're younger than 18 or are easily offended, please stop this podcast now. Oh, and your mom says to take out the trash and do your homework.
Mics are hot. Hello and welcome to GameHounds. GameHounds episode 600. Yes, 600 episodes. That's all the fanfare we've got. We don't even have a full crew today. All we have is Nick DiNicola, and me, Edie Sellers. Welcome to GameHounds. Welcome to the 600th episode.
Andrew couldn't even make it for that. He's how it shows how little he cares about us.
Well, yeah, Andrew can't be here today because he is covering for someone who had an accident at work. So I guess he had a bicycle accident or a car accident or something, and so he had to go
bike.
On his bike. Yeah, so he had to go into work for that. So we are here. We were talking in the pre-show on YouTube about getting high. It's been known to happen. It's been a really long time for me, but then again, I am old. I am past the getting high for fun stage. Now I'm getting high for pain relief.
Yeah, you're doing it for your health.
Right now, it really is, something. It is medicinal. So, how's things with you? What you been doing this week, Nick?
Good. I was out with friends last night, which is probably like the most social thing that I've done in a good long time. So that was interesting.
Yeah, I just worked. I got a big thing going on this week. Oh, it's scary. I'm running a webinar.
Ooh.
And it is me running the technical behind the scenes. I am not giving the webinar. If it's giving the webinar, no problem. I'm running the technical behind the scenes. It is a webinar for 200 people. And it is for medical credits. So it's got to go off perfectly because this is the equivalent of the attendees getting paid to go do it because they get their continuing medical education credits out of it. And you have to hit certain parameters. And it is a half hour, and I am terrified because I've never run a webinar before, much less with this company. So,
I mean, at least it's just a half hour. Like that's pretty quick as far as a webinar goes.
Yeah. But it's a lot of like technical back and forth, making sure the tech works. I'm scared. Corey Wallace says imagines the high dog meme as the new GameHounds logo.
What was the high dog meme?
You never seen that?
I mean, I probably have.
Let's see if I can look it up. The high dog meme. That's it. Is this it?
Oh, the big shit-eating grin on it.
Oh, I found a bunch of videos of dogs from Inside Edition, dogs that are high. I'm sorry. It's not. This is not very good radio, but it is awesome video of dogs high. That's pretty much me. That last dog, that's me. All the time when I get I gotta roll that back. All right. So yeah.
Yeah, see, he's cool with it. He's cool.
Yeah, I guess this was a news item about how don't let your dogs get high. Don't drop your buds so that your dogs get high. So
don't put your edibles on the floor because the puppy will totally eat them.
Oh yeah. Oh, the puppy, the absolutely will eat them. Mm-hmm. So moving on from high dogs. It's never good to make your dog high. It's not funny. It's not fair. It's funny to watch, but it's not funny to the dog. So just remember that. Games. Let's talk about the games that we played. I'm gonna let you talk about your games because I only played one, and your game is one of those is a game that I played, and you and I have very different experiences from it.
Yeah. First of all, I finished the indie game Olija.
Oh, yeah.
Because I didn't have that much left, and so I just kind of picked it up and finished it in like a night. And we were talking about, getting high. You don't have to be high to play that game. It just kind of naturally feels that way because it feels like you're 2 a.m. flicking through the channels and you come across like a martial arts fantasy movie that's 3/4 of the way done, and you start watching it because you're like, oh man, the action is really good. I have no idea who any of these people are, but I'm just gonna keep watching it because it's a good action movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this game's story feels like. I said last week, it's stars a guy who he's like the mayor of a fishing village or something, and oh hey, the fish are not coming, so him and some guys go out to try to fix that and get swallowed by a whale and
Mm-hmm.
somehow end up in this fantasy land that is like what happens in the fantasy land is completely divorced from any of that whale shit in a way that's like, wait, am I playing the same game? What is going on here? What actually is the plot of this game? Um, and I have no idea, but it's still really, really cool. It kind of captures that feeling like Dark Souls does of stumbling across something, a movie or something, and half understanding it. Like you can follow along. Oh, okay. There's this dude. He's the main character. There's this other yellow cloaked ghost thing that is clearly the bad guy. There's this woman named Olija that the main guy seems to be in love with. Okay, but it just kind of progresses in a way that is, you know, it's not that it's difficult to follow. It's just that everything feels like a dream almost, and everything feels half explained in a way that you could say, "Oh, it's bad writing," but I don't necessarily think it is. It's just kind of, uh, uh, I don't know. In a way, it is bad writing because I can't really follow the central plot.
But the gameplay is so good that it kind of,
But the gameplay is so good, and
yeah.
but also like I don't necessarily mind that about the plot because I can still follow along with the basics of it, and it's so interesting. And the world that it goes into is just so weird, and it's very unusual type of fantasy setting that I'm still just kind of like, I have no idea what's going on, but I'm just going to go along with this because I want to see what happens next. So yeah, it's a really neat game, and I'm seriously glad that I picked it up on a whim. And anyone looking for just a good side-scrolling action game, absolutely, Allegia, fantastic.
Okay.
Uh,
Next.
and then after that, I got into Quantum Break, which was the Remedy game that they made before Control. This is the Xbox exclusive. It came out for the Xbox One, and I remember they made a big deal about it, Remedy and Microsoft, because there was going to be a TV show that came out along with it. And the TV show and the game are kind of like wrapped together, where you'll play an act of the game, and then you'll watch an episode of the TV show, and then you'll
Right.
go back,
Right. I
play an
remember
act.
seeing that at PAX, and that was like a big thing. That it's like it's a TV show and it's a game all mixed in together.
hmm In terms of pacing, playing it like that, I think really fucks it up. Because you constantly get into a situation where like, oh, the main guy, he's going on a genuinely interesting adventure. Basically, early on in the game, time breaks. And you all kind of the world is hurtling towards the literal end of time. And oh, the guy from Game of Thrones is the villain.
That's a lot of guys.
Yeah, no, it's the guy who betrays Ned Stark in the first season, Littlefinger.
Oh, Littlefinger. Yes. Who played Littlefinger?
It's like Aiden something, I think.
Actor
But
Littlefinger.
he does this experiment that
Aidan
kind of
Gillen. Aidan,
yeah
yeah,
yes
Peter
yes
played Peter Baelish.
uh he does this experiment early on. Time kind of breaks, but you realize, oh, he's actually from the future because all of this was inevitably going to happen. And so he is basically kind of working. He sees the end of time as inevitable. Like, yo, I've been to the future. I've seen the end of time. This shit is going to happen. I've already tried to stop it and I failed. So I'm just going to try to create, you know, a shady corporation and use those resources to create a kind of time lifeboat that will save some small remnant of humanity. And you, who were in that experiment in the beginning, end up getting time powers, and you're like, no, I'm going to stop the end of time, and I'm going to stop you, Aiden Gillian. And so that's kind of the central conflict between them. And it's interesting because, the for being the ostensible villain of the series, of the game, I kind of see where he's coming from. Yo, I've seen the apocalypse. I'm gonna try to save what few people I can because this is inevitable and it can't be stopped. Like, I get that. That's kind of good villain logic.
God, is this stop motion video? Because if not, it's really good.
This is the TV show.
Okay, that is the TV show. All right, because I was like, wow, the graphics on this are amazing. Holy shit.
The graphics are very good. Just like with Control, Remedy knows how to make cool effects. So like when there's cool moments where you're running through and time stutters, where all of a sudden everything stops, and it kind of like you'll be watching a bird, and the bird will like start flapping its wings once, twice, and then like jerk back to where it was. And it's a cool effect that makes it look like time is trying to move forward, but almost like a record scratch keeps getting stuck in this like 1 second loop. So it's like, I'm trying to move forward, can't, jerk back. Trying
Stuck
to
in the
move forward,
Matrix,
jerk
dude.
back. Yeah, and it's a really cool effect. And a lot of the time things that happens, like when you slow down time, when you put up a shield, when you move quickly, like all the effects are really awesome. Goddamn, Remedy just knows how to make, when I say good looking games, not just graphics wise, but stylistically, aesthetically. And the action is really good. It feels really good to play. The time powers are really important in combat. Like, you could just kind of go around shooting things like a regular third person shooter, but using the time powers makes everything genuinely so much easier in a way that makes the combat really dynamic, really fun. And even though your powers, each of them is on a cooldown, the cooldown is fast enough that you can kind of just keep throwing out your powers at a really good clip that really allows the game to take advantage of the fact that you have time powers. Some action games, they'll give you powers, but the way the combat is designed, you don't necessarily have to take advantage of all the cool abilities. This game, the way the combat is and the way the powers refresh so quickly,
it's like they're meant to be used.
Yes, they're meant to be used. You can use them with abandon. You can use them, fuck up, and then use them again. And that it's cool because using them is genuinely fun. I said before, going from playing the game to watching a TV show, watching like a 30-minute episode, really hurts the pacing because the TV show follows all these side characters that only minorly cross paths with the main guy's story. And so you're constantly like, oh, tension is ramping up, and then, oh, reset and follow this other dude, and tension is going to wrap up. What's going to happen with him? Oh, he's captured by the bad guys. Bloop. Oh, follow the other guy again. And so you're constantly having like the narrative pace reset in a way that doesn't help the game. Like, it gives it a really bad pacing, but it is kind of neat to see these side characters kind of become the heroes of their own story. It's like, oh, this one random ass security guy who in the first act of the game is like, he's working to arrest you because he's like the head of security for the corporation. He becomes the main character of the episodes, and it's neat. It lends the story a kind of scope that I think it otherwise wouldn't have, of hey, the end of time is kind of a big event, and there's other people involved in the conspiracy, other people involved in trying to uncover this lifeboat. Like, other people are involved in this, and so it's neat to actually see someone else be the hero of their own story, like I said, instead of the protagonist. Everyone sees themselves as the main character of their lives, and this game kind of allows a story to encompass that feeling.
And AC Wraith says it's currently 75% off in the Steam summer sale. Yeah, it's Steam sale this week.
Yeah, it's
Just what I need.
absolutely worth it. People should pick it up. It was kind of overlooked when it came out, I think, because it came out really early on in the Xbox One's lifespan, when they were still dealing with the blowback of their always on DRM, when Microsoft was still obviously really high on this. We're going to have like a movie production arm of the Xbox.
Yeah.
In the entertainment division.
It was a bold idea that just did not go well.
Yeah, and this game was kind of like,
it was either going to be a huge
child.
success, or it was going to be a miserable failure, and it ended up being the other.
Yeah, and has the poster child for those kind of failed larger initiatives. I think it allows it to be overlooked, at least, right now. I think it's a very overlooked game, but it's absolutely worth it.
Yeah, it looks really cool too. And the graphics, is this a remaster or?
No, this is just Xbox One.
Wow, it looks really good for being an Xbox One game.
Hey, Xbox One and PS4 games still look good.
Yeah, still do. Mm-hmm. All right, so, and then the game that you and I do not agree at all about. Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance. That is on Game Pass. I'm glad it's on Game Pass, because if I'd paid for it, I would have been pissed.
Yeah, that's
I would say that. Your impressions of it.
So I only played it. This is a 4-player co-op hack and slash, basically.
Yes, it is.
I only played it solo because, before you get into a co-op game, I want to go in, play a level or two by myself, get used to the controls, the pace of the game, figure out what I'm doing before I hop into a multiplayer session with other people. Right? That makes sense. That's understandable. That's logical.
Yes.
Playing this game solo, it kind of fucking sucks. At least,
yes,
I like the idea that they seem to be going for, which is there's an interesting kind of Dark Souls-esque pacing to the levels, where you'll fight through kind of a tough section, and then you'll get to an option to make a camp, which is kind of like a bonfire. And so when you make this short camp, it basically refills your potions. And so every time you camp,
it's like Dungeons and Dragons. You can either take a short rest, which is an option, or you can choose to increase your loot rarity.
Yeah, so if you don't need to refill your health and your potions, you can choose to skip the camp, and you get some better loot out of it. But the pace of combat encounter, bonfire that revives your health and refills your consumables, there's a very Souls-like pacing to that. The problem is that going through these levels by myself was pretty fine. The combat is not the best, but it's decent enough that I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, I'm enjoying it. What if it's tap and slash? It's whatever. But you get to the end of the levels and you fight a boss, and the bosses are just absolutely god awful when playing solo. And I say specifically about the boss of the second area, whose name is Storm Gouger or Storm Bringer. He's like a big electric guy, and he throws out electricity. And he did, when you play through, when you start a level, you can kind of choose a difficulty. When I went through, I chose basically level 2, because I'm like, yeah, give me a challenge. When I went through it, the other one, I put it on level 1. And even on level 1, Storm Bringer, Storm Gouger, he had a single move, which was just the lamest, most pathetic little type of SWAT that took off 75% of my health. And other than that, the game does some things I hate, where if you get stunned, you are stunned for so long. It's a solid couple seconds, and during that time, it just gives the enemies a chance to wail on you in a way that is completely unfair and broken, because you just get stuck in this loop where that you keep getting fucked over. So between the enemy, him being way too strong, even on a lowest difficulty, he was just so fast, and like I could not get in. Like I could not. There was never a chance for me to kind of get in behind him and do proper damage. And it's just, I know it's a four-player co-op game, but it defaults to offline, and it gives you the option to play solo. And it feels like this boss was so poorly designed for solo play that it was one of the most mind-bogglingly miserable boss fights I have ever had to play in a game. It was a miserable experience, and I turned the game off. I uninstalled it because I'm like, fuck this game, fuck all this. I hope the devs are plagued by locusts and rats for creating something so awful. Fuck this game. And so I hated it so much.
So this game should never have had a single player option. Period. The end. It shouldn't have had a single player option ever. It is not playable. It is not enjoyable. It's not even really a game as a single player.
Like, going through the rest of the level by myself, I thought was okay. It's just the boss fights both times felt horribly unbalanced. The rest of it was okay.
Right.
Like,
and when you leave, if you get all the way to the end and you don't beat the boss, you don't get anything for the level.
Yeah.
So here's a couple of things.
Checkpoint. There is a checkpoint, and so every time I died, I restart from the checkpoint.
Right.
But
if you don't complete the dungeon, if you don't complete the act, if you leave early because you can't beat it, you don't get anything.
Yeah.
Even the stuff that you already collected. Here's what I will say. First off, I felt the same way as you when I tried to. I did one mission solo, and then I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna go online. When you actually get with a full party, this game is fun as shit. This game is fun as shit.
I don't believe you for a second.
It is. It's all about multiplayer. You can't have duplicates of any character. You have 4 characters and a full group. You have to play with a full group, and only one is allowed of each character. So sometimes you will go into these missions and there will be already somebody who's playing as your character. You level up very quickly. The level cap is 20. You can do that in an evening without even thinking about it.
Really?
Oh yeah. It is intended for you to have all 4 characters leveled up. Where it gets interesting is in the kitting out, how you actually kit out your equipment. That's what determines you versus anyone else and your playing style, because by the end you have all of your the moves, all of the feats, all of the perks, all of the everything. It's all about your equipment and how you play. It is all about being social. It is all about playing together. And something else I didn't know, I haven't tested it, somebody told me while I was playing it in a pickup group, was that say that you, like you did with your dungeons, you played all the way through them and then you had to quit because you couldn't beat the final boss as a solo. If you ever go back into that map again and you beat it, even as a group, you get everything you got from completing it as the group, plus everything that you didn't actually get when you left it.
Really? That's actually nice.
Yeah. That's, I think, they're strategic in the way that they did that, in that it does not penalize you for not being able to complete it. It just kind of delays it until you can actually get a team that you level up, or you get a team that you can do. The gameplay is pretty limited. I see the best way I can describe this game is it's not a great game. It is a solid multiplayer experience, a miserable single player experience that should never even have been. They didn't do a very good job explaining anything, and they just kind of dumped you in. And they put a lot of emphasis into the lore, and nobody cares about the lore. It's not there's not even really a story here as far as I know. But it is a good start for a game. It feels like it's got good bones. It's got a great foundation to build what might be a really, really, really good game, depending on where they take it, what direction they take it. I get a sense that they are intending to build this out much more fully. I will back up in the chat or in the video so you can see. Let's see where he goes. If I can actually back it up into no, a little bit farther. All right. So he picks up. Come on, you just don't be a dick. When you walk around in your camp, that's the other thing. It's like that whole camp is kind of pointless to go into. It's a very small camp. You can't switch out any equipment mid play. You have to go into your camp to actually equip anything. You don't actually even get it until you go into your camp and open up a box, and everything that you collected, it shows up in a box. And then you can improve on your weapons. You can spend these things called crystals that you pick up along the way, and they're crystals that are leveled the same way as your equipment of common, rare, common, uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary crystals. And you've got to use those crystals on those particular equipment in order to level up that equipment and make it better. There are level sets that give you perks, and that's where you kind of start to really tweak out your particular characters the way you want to play them. But it is fun. I'm totally enjoying it. It is all about a social game. Now, Dungeons and Dragons, originally the video game, was a couch co-op game. There is no couch co-op, but I think that it brings that same kind of feeling that they want you to just be screaming, at each other, and making jokes the whole time, and just enjoying each other's company. It does seem odd that the chat feature is broken in the game, which is you can overcome that by going to Xbox Live. But as soon as he gets up to where he needs to be, when he picks up this is all the equipment that he picked up in the game. He actually looks like he just picked up everything and left.
Yeah, because I know when you go to that
chest,
you can choose to reveal one item at a time. Or you can choose to reveal
all of them. So let's see if he actually goes in. He's going to pick up his moves. Oh, and then you've got a character sheet where you actually add your attributes, the same normal 6 attributes that you have in a regular Dungeons and Dragons game, which it depends on how you want to play your character. I only have one character. I have leveled it up. I leveled it up almost instantly as soon as I started playing with people, and have been enjoying it so much that I don't want to go to another character, even though frequently I will get into groups that already have my character, somebody playing my character. So let me see
who are you?
See right here, you can't really see it. He doesn't walk up to it, but just to the right of the map is a whole area that looks like a blacksmith area, but it doesn't activate. I think they're going to add blacksmithing, which means that you will be able to start crafting your own equipment. I think they have a lot of plans for this. They just don't have everything kitted out. This is, if I was going to buy this retail, I'd be happy with $20. They probably charge $40. I would say this is not a $40 game.
It is. It retails for $40.
Yeah, it's not a $40 game. It's a $20 game right now as it stands. In the future, it might be a $40 game, but it is 20 now. But I think if you want to, and I would encourage this, Nick, load that shit back up. You and I go in together and we will find someone. We will find a group. And we will go through it together. And that's the other thing that's also kind of nice, is that it does not, you can be a level 20 with a level 1 character. So playing with a level 1 character in another, on your team. And it gives you your party point total. It tells you essentially how strong your party is. And you go into each of those different map possibilities, choices of the dungeons. And you can choose, all right, what level do I want to play? Do I want to play at level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6? And it'll say what your party score is and what the dungeon score is at that level. So you can gauge pretty easily, given the party makeup that you have based on points and based on levels of everybody in the group, you can pretty much pick a good level that you will be able to beat. Now, the equipment is that the level of the equipment that you're getting out of it is going to be attached to the level of the dungeon that you're playing. So if you have all level 20s, you can play level 6. You're going to be getting the strongest equipment that you possibly can, the strongest versions of all of the equipment and all the loot that you're going to get. You're also going to get the most amount of XP, the most amount of gold, all the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have 2 level 20s and 2 level 1s, it'll say you could do a level 4. And, you're within the score range of a level 4. Or if you're 1 level 20 and 3 level 1s, it's like, all right, you're in the score range of a level 3. Now, level 20 person's it's going to suck for them because there's not going to be any good loot for them. There's going to be gold. If you're level 20, you don't need the XP. There's going to be gold and there's going to be crystals that you want to kind of hoard for your next characters and farm for your next character. So it's entirely possible that you could do that. Or you could power level your friend up to level 20. You go from level 1 to level 10. I was playing with someone that there were 3 20s and one level 1. It was a buddy of theirs that they brought along. And we leveled him up to level 10 in one dungeon. So that's how fast you can make it. You could easily get to level 20 in one night.
I guess it's... Then why even have levels? If the levels on it feels like the loot and your equipment is what really determines like a lot of your strength and ability.
Oh no, the level definitely affects your strength and ability, because at different levels you're getting different. You also get different feats and different skills and different other stuff. Like all of the moves that you get and all of the perks that you get.
Can you respec any of that stuff?
You get them all at the end anyway.
Oh, okay, you get everything.
Yeah, you get everything. So yeah, the whole point is to get all 4 characters. Every person that plays the game should at one point, in a very quick order, have all 4 characters kitted out. And it's not about leveling. It's about having fun and kicking ass and just doing these crazy moves. And I know that they're going to be adding more stuff to it. So, it's a good start. It's a good, solid start of a game. And I think looking at it from that perspective, as opposed to this is a fully fleshed out game. A lot of people I've never seen a more divisive game than this. I saw a review from, I forget who it was. Was it Eurogamer? Somebody that did a review that said exactly what I was thinking, pretty much what I just said. And it was like, oh yeah, good. Somebody else is kind of seeing it the way I'm seeing it. And the comments absolutely were just like complete hate for that person, because so many people were angry about it. And I could see why they would be. Because they're having an experience like yours, where they played it, they tried to single player it, and it's like it's fucking broken as a single player. Why the fuck are you charging $40 for it? There's server issues. Those have gotten better, by the way. In the last just recently, they've gotten a lot better. There's server issues, but there's walls against unbeatable bosses that you can't solo. There's not much of a story that makes you want to play it as a single player, and to have somebody say that it's like broken.
I like this mystical dance routine these
Oh
villains are
yeah,
doing.
yeah. To bring him to life.
Kind of looks like the end of the OA.
a bit. So
But
yeah,
still, I guess
I think that you need to give it another try, but as a multiplayer with your headset on.
I mean, I will, but like my larger issue is that, like I said, it's decent enough, but the combat is also, there's a flimsiness to it that is really mediocre. Like the combat taken on its own, I don't think is particularly good. There's a lot of, it's sort of difficult to tell when a hit has connected with.
Mhm.
It's sometimes difficult to tell when an enemy is about to hit you. It has like your character has these arrows around them that will turn from like green to red depending on if a guy behind you is about to jump up and hit you. And those kind of feel very, very off base. Like they never felt actually helpful. And there's just something, a kind of uncomfortable slowness to it. It feels plotting.
It is a bit plotting. I think that the controls are a little smushy. Best way I could describe it.
Yeah. It's not responsive.
And you
A
can
lot of
get
times,
yourself into like a move that you can't back out of.
yes, and that's one of my other big complaints is that you can get locked into a combo string. So you start a combo, you kill an enemy, but you're still doing that combo that you can't stop for a second as you're just stabbing air.
Right.
And
some of the combos, some of your high level moves can take several seconds to do. And if you get yourself locked into a combo like that, and then all of a sudden you see that the enemy is going to do one of its, big AoE attacks, you can't get out of it. And that just happens. You spend a lot of, even a level 20 character can spend a lot of time down. But that's what your teammates are for, to pick you up. That's part of it. Which character did you play?
Drizzt, the assassin character, dual wielding.
My character, so we can't play together.
Look, I have absolutely no loyalty to him.
Okay,
I'll play someone else. I don't care.
I think that all the characters are kind of fun, I think, but I think the character that is the one that just becomes so incredibly essential to have is the what was it, Caddy K, whatever.
Brie?
Yeah, Caddy Brie.
The
yeah, the archer. She's an archer and a healer. I figured you'd pick it. That's why I picked Drizzt, which is the rogue. But there's a dwarf who is essentially a tank. Although the normal tank tactics don't always work, I as far as I can tell, it doesn't work in the same way that a typical like MMO does, where I'm the tank, I'm going to taunt them, they're going to stay on me, and then the damage dealers come in, and then somebody else hangs back and heals.
Yeah, it's more hack and slash than it is.
It's more
MMO.
hack and slash than that. Yeah. But I enjoy the hell out of this game. More than I should, given how as bad a ratings as this game has had from a lot of people. AC Ray says, I even know the name Drizzt.
I mean, the funny thing is, I know the name.
Yeah, there we go.
Thank
you. You found it. AC Ray found that review. That's Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance review. A bad first impression, but it's a grower.
It's a grower, not a shower.
It's a grower, not a shower. We got Chaos in the chat room who says, I wouldn't say it's either really. It's more just a hack and slash better.
That was the
my biggest issue is that the net code is not good right now in multiplayer. True.
Also, he says he bought it at $60 for the deluxe edition. I thought you had Game Pass Ultimate. This should be on Game Pass Ultimate on PC.
He doesn't have
isn't
an
it?
Xbox. Oh, that's
No,
right.
but
Ultimate, but he
it
has
should
a
be on
PC.
PC.
Yeah. He says I bought it in 60 and I regret everything. I don't know. I think that that headline absolutely has it. It is a grower, not a shower. Got to give it time. Got to warm it up a little bit.
I feel like it says a lot that last night when you texted me like, "Hey, do you want to play Dungeons and Dragons?" and I responded like, "Oh no, I already deleted it, but I'll play some Outriders because I heard they patched the loot." I still have Outriders installed on the Xbox, and I uninstalled this one.
I think you need to reinstall it, look at it from a different perspective, play it differently with as a multiplayer and not as a single player, and I think that you will enjoy it more. I haven't laughed so hard with just strangers in a group as I have with this game.
Really?
Yep. It's just it hit the right note, it hit the right tones. Maybe I've just gotten some really good groups and I got very lucky, but these were just pickup groups and just had a hell of a lot of good times talking to people.
Okay. Maybe I'll give it a second shot.
Yeah. It definitely deserves it. So yeah, that's my review. That's our group review of D&D Dark Alliance. It's worth it. Just don't expect too much from it.
I remain unconvinced, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
just
We'll see.
Don't ask too much from it right now. This
I
is
just wanted a good game.
I
think
know.
that's too much.
This is I would say it's closer, less akin to like Dark Souls and more akin to like
Yeah, no.
No Man's Sky, in that you're gonna have to wait for it to get good. Hopefully they won't be disappointed by the negative reviews that they're getting right now, and can see that there are some people at least who can see what's out there, see that it's
I mean,
see where they're going with it and agree with the direction.
I'm someone that liked No Man's Sky in the beginning, but
I know.
also that's I don't know. I still feel like excusing a bad game by saying, "Oh, it'll get better," is like a bad excuse.
That's what all the hate, all the comments
even
on that
has someone
says.
has someone who liked No Man's Sky in the beginning, the idea of, "Oh yeah, stick with it, it'll get better." It's like, no, that's bullshit.
Right.
If
then don't charge $40 for it.
then don't put it out and like delay it a little bit. Then it's the I guess this is just like the modern bane of video games. The bane of modern video games is that it feels like 60% of everything that comes out is kind of unfinished.
Yep. Well, that started with, I remember when we started this podcast, I remember Hawks being furious about a day one patch. Like, how dare they ship a game that needs to be patched before you even play it?
Mm-hmm.
This
it's
is
fair.
bad, right? And this is the natural progression for that, is that if you're willing to accept a day one patch, so now that it's expected, the next step of that would be like, well, let's ship a mostly complete game and then let's see how it goes. And then we can use the money that we make on those sales to actually complete the game.
Video games.
Yeah. They never threaten. They never disappoint us. That's for sure.
They never not disappoint.
They never cease to disappoint us. There we go.
yeah.
That's what I was trying to say.
There's always something to complain about.
Always something to complain about. So yeah, that's my review of that. So, anything else before we hit the news?
Not in terms of games played.
Okay.
That's all. I was looking. I guess this is kind of a segue into news. I was looking at this Kotaku article that was like, "Oh, here are the upcoming games for the summer," and I was kind of surprised that it's kind of lacking in a way that made me a little happy because I thought, oh, good, nothing really big comes out in July. That gives me plenty of time to catch up on other things.
Yep, this is going to be your one free July that you're going to have, thanks to the pandemic. All right, so with that being said, let's hit the news. This is the GameHounds news, the news, views, and commentary of the week in gaming with gamer Edie and Nick Nicola. And our first item is
Let's keep beating a dead horse.
Sure.
So last week there was some hints that Cyberpunk would be coming back to the PlayStation Store, and it has. But it has a specific warning on it on the PSN storefront that says, generally, don't play this on a base PS4.
Right.
Play it on a PS4 Pro or PS5.
This is the indemnify PlayStation clause. Oh
Mhm.
yeah, we're putting it on our store, but you can't play it on your console. Just
It's like,
saying.
you
Don't blame
can.
us. You didn't read the fine print.
Yeah, it's like you can play it on a base PS4. They will allow you to download it, but they have a little warning that says, like, we don't recommend this. Even still, we don't recommend this.
Is that game ever going to be playable, you think?
I mean, I've heard that it is playable, but whether playable means good or whether playable means living up to the expectations people had of it, I think are entirely different stories.
WitcherCon is coming up, right?
Yeah.
When is it coming up? July 9th. This is the first WitcherCon since the release of Cyberpunk, huh?
Yeah, I have
It's
heard
a little awkward.
Well, WitcherCon also involves a lot of Netflix stuff.
Right.
You
But
know, 'cause
even so, it's
Netflix
gonna be a
has-
little awkward because now
True, but,
Witcher
like,
and
Netflix has
Cyberpunk
season
are inexorably
2.
connected to each other.
And like Netflix is doing a whole bunch of animated spin-off stuff with Witcher. Oh, actually, I did play another game, just really briefly, that was Witcher related. It's this game on Game Pass called Thronebreaker, and it's kind of a top-down. It looked like it was a top-down isometric RPG that's like, oh, here's some Witcher side stories. But when I started playing it, I realized that the battles are not turn-based RPG that I thought it was. It's Gwent. And just as someone who doesn't really enjoy card-based games in video games,
I didn't mind Gwent.
I didn't mind it has a side thing to do in Witcher 3, but when it becomes the central mechanic of your game, I was just sort of, going through the tutorial and then eventually decided, like, this isn't for me. It seemed like a neat game. Like, if you want some more Witcher storytelling, I think it seemed like a genuinely cool game. It's just Gwent's kind of not for me, so.
Yeah, I liked Gwent.
Yeah, you should check it out. Thronebreaker.
No, I didn't like it that much.
Okay.
Just saying I liked it in the game.
So yeah, I don't think CD Projekt will have any like Witcher announcements at WitcherCon. I think it's way too early for that. But I have heard rumors that they're working on a Witcher 4.
Yeah. Also heard rumors that they're not working on a Witcher 4. Speaking of rumors,
they need Witcher 4.
They need Witcher 4. Speaking of rumors, here's my first item. So did you follow this whole conspiracy theory with Hideo Kojima and Blue Box and all that?
Blue Box? Is this related to people thinking he's working on a Silent Hill game?
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of bullshit.
All right. Did you here? I mean, did you follow up on what it was? Like all the reasons
what
why?
I heard is that a game got announced. It wasn't at E3. It was like a couple months before that.
It was in April.
Yeah, game shown during a PlayStation event. And it's like a first-person horror game. And for some reason,
it's called Abandoned.
Oh yes, that's it. I knew there was an A in it. And for some reason, people like started associating Kojima with that. And I remember watching the trailer, and just thinking like, okay, and it just seemed like a game, and I don't know why they're linking it to him. I don't.
All right, so here is it started. Okay, this trailer came out in April. Then on Reddit, it started to kind of become this conspiracy. And here's not all of them. I mean, this is a small part of the coincidences that made people think that this might be a Silent Hill game. So, this first off, this trailer, the sound, the video act or the acting, voice acting, the game itself, it didn't seem like, obviously it was horror. Obviously, it just seemed a little amateurish. That is not out of the realm of the things that Kojima does when he has done in the past to kind of do that quiet on the down low reveal of a game. He did that for I believe Metal Gear Solid. He did the same thing for Silent Pain. So, not Silent Pain, the Phantom Pain. So here's a smattering of the conspiracy stuff.
Okay.
All right. So it's being made by Blue Box Studios out of the Netherlands. The game director of Abandoned is a guy named Hassan Karuman.
Okay.
Hassan Karuman and Hideo Kojima have the same initials. Right?
Okay.
Wait. If Hideo Kojima, Karuman translated from Turkish to Japanese is Hideo. That's a pretty crazy one. They both mean hero. Hero in Japanese, hero in Turkish.
Okay.
Now, in the past, Kojima has done stuff just like this. He had Joaquin Mogren, which was the fake CEO of this fake Moby Dick studio when he was doing a Phantom Pain, right?
Yeah.
This is not crazy, completely crazy talk out of left field. Blue Box Studios logo. Let me pull it back up so you can see it. Blue Box Studios logo is go back. Let me get back to it. Blue Box Studios logo, if you look at it, is pretty much a photo in reverse of the PlayStation Studios logo. PlayStation Studios, Blue Box is a white box with black letters. PlayStation Studios is a black box with white letters. Almost identical fonts.
Really? I need to look up
Here,
PlayStation
let me pull it up for you. Stand by. Let me pull up a video that I know has it. I will.
Oh, I see what you mean. It's just the PlayStation logo. Generally.
Right. The PlayStation Studios logo is very, very similar.
The logo that has.
Here we go. Found it.
The PlayStation, and then
I'm referring to here from the channel Young. Yeah. You can see there is a similarity between the two.
This feels like the conspiracy starting to stretch.
Right. No, but remember, we're talking about, you have to take with conspiracy, you have to take all the evidence together. If it was just this, no. But the fact that Hideo and Karuman mean the same thing, that you put one into a translator, you put Karuman into a Turkish to Japanese translator and it comes out Hideo.
I think AC Wraith has a better point that the Blue Box's logo is not blue. It's totally hoax.
Who would have missed that opportunity? Yeah, that's true. Good point. Mm-hmm. So, let's see. What are the other? This is not all of the stuff. All right. So let's see. Blue Box's logo. Jeff Keighley was asked about this on a live stream, and he got very, 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 very cagey about it. Jeff Keighley was involved with the, Moby Dick Studios Phantom Pain thing.
Yeah, wasn't that initial trailer on the Game Awards?
Game Awards. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. He's also a friend of Hideo Kojima. So then Blue Box is based in the Netherlands, right? That's where Guerrilla Studios is. Kojima has worked with Guerrilla Studios on the Decima game engine.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Blue Box was founded, according to business records, on August 12th, 2015, which is exactly 1 year after the release of PT, which was released on August 12th, 2014. On the PlayStation Network, Hassan Karaman's player name is Sneaky Warrior, which, who's another sneaky warrior we know? Solid Snake.
Okay.
Yeah. On his PlayStation profile, Hassan Karaman has played a game called Demon Blood. That game doesn't exist. But the logo for Demon Blood has a silhouette of Siren Head, which was a character that was very notably and very publicly discussed by somebody named Junjito. Junjito was supposed to have worked with Kojima on the Silent Hills game. So this is just a smattering. I mean, there's the coincidences go on for pages, and some of them are a little on the creepy side, like a little like, ooh, that is kind of interesting. Sneaky Warrior. You put them all together and you're like, Sneaky Warrior, Hassan Karaman, game that he's played that doesn't exist. It's just a lot of things to put together. Well, turns out that conspiracies can absolutely be just even crazy ones with lots of evidence that this might be something. Sometimes you can have a lot of coincidences. So Blue Box Game Studios has gone to Twitter. They obviously got a lot of attention when all of this stuff started to come out, and all these people were like, this is the new Silent Hill game. Blue Box Studio had to go to Twitter and say, we want to set things straight. We have no relations with Konami. Silent Hill is owned by Konami. We do not have any relations with Hideo Kojima. It was never our intention to tease the name Silent Hill. Yeah, it was something else. There was something in it that teased the name Silent Hill. They were trying to tease the name Survival, not Silent Hill. And they said, we sincerely want to apologize for this. They have responded to just about everything. You can see all of the responses that they've had, that they have said, it's not us. It's not us. Of course, all the conspiracy theorists are going, but what about this? And it's like, it's a coincidence. What about this? It's a coincidence. What about this? It's a coincidence. If this is fake, it's a really good fake, because generally speaking, when these kind of coincidences happen and they are a Kojima thing, they tend to be a little wishy-washy about the reality. They don't exactly flat out lie. So yeah, this very much seems like a real studio, and it got so big that the man himself, let me pull it out, stand by. I have to go to another place to find it. The man himself, Hassan Karaman, came on and did a video on Twitter.
Proof of life.
That's proof of life that says, I really am him. This really is me. I am not Hideo Kojima. I am not an actor. This is a series of coincidences. He seems very much like somebody who has been broadsided. He seems really fucking tired is what he seems like.
I don't know. Did he show his ID?
It is the same. This guy's picture is the same as the one that's on his profile on PlayStation.
Did he do a reverse image search? Is he an actor?
Well,
Does he have headshots?
Here's the thing. Let me see if I can actually play this. I hope that this is. Let me remove the screen. I am going to actually play this screen with audio. Will it let me do? Oh no, Chrome tab. I want to do it with audio. And I'm going to share the audio so you can hear it. Let's see if you can hear it.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. This is Hassan Karaman. Just wanted to do a really quick video just to show myself that I'm a real person. And I'm not really associated with Hideo Kojima. Not an actor, not working on Silent Hill. So I just wanted to show you guys my face and that I'm real. And hopefully we'll do a QA very soon. Just have to figure out when it would be, and then we'll talk more. All right, everyone, have a good one.
Now, the in the past, Hideo. Let me stop this. It keeps playing in my head. So in the past, when they have had Jeff Keighley did the developer interview with what was his name, Joaquin, for the Phantom Pain, there was never anything where he said, I'm not associated with Hideo Kojima. It was always no comment, no comment, no comment, no comment. And it was done. You could see it was clearly an actor. You could see there was clearly not a real thing. So yeah, poor Hassan Karaman. Oh my God. His life just got turned upside down. And you can see it. You can hear it in his voice. Like, I'm really, really not attached to Hideo Kojima or Konami, and I really just want my life back.
I mean, if anything, it's a lot of free press for their video game.
Yeah. Abandon is going to get a lot more, and they know it too. So yes, sometimes things that look very much like a conspiracy are actually just
sometimes conspiracy theories aren't true.
Sometimes conspiracy theories, even the most convincing conspiracy theories, can be fake.
Lies. You're just part of the conspiracy.
I am. I'm being paid by Hideo Kojima to convince you otherwise.
I knew it.
So that was the big thing where you could like fall down a rabbit hole of like, wait a minute, but look at this, it's got the same font. And yeah. So what's your next item?
Well, it's nowhere near as comprehensive. But speaking of rumors,
Yes.
there's not so much a rumor. This comes from GameBeat's Jeff Grubb that EA is looking to revive the Dead Space franchise.
Yes.
And he says specifically it will be a revival, and so not a sequel, and not a what's it? Not a reboot.
Remaster?
Upgrade, yeah, remaster. That's it. Not a remaster of the existing game, but like, a reboot of the series. Basically, hey, we're gonna put out Dead Space. It's just gonna be named Dead Space probably, and it's gonna be a horror game. But hey, I think it's really cool. As someone who has super fond memories of Dead Space, I'm really hopeful that they do something with that franchise.
Yeah,
even
and
if it is
EA,
just like remaster the first 3 games and put them out like they did with Mass Effect, I think that would be awesome.
Right, and EA has been it's when people point to EA about being a hated developer / publisher. Well, I guess it would be technically a publisher. This is one of the things that they point to, because the first 2 Dead Spaces were loved by a lot of people, and then EA came in, bought the studio, took over the IP, did Dead Space 3, and it
was always EA.
Was it always EA?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I think they gave it to another developer or something. But anyway,
No.
Dead Space 3 was not well received by comparison. and a lot of people say EA wrecked the IP. But the fact that they're saying that there's a revival on this, that it might be coming back, it's being done by the same guys that did Squadrons and Battlefront 2. What's the name of them?
DICE?
It's not DICE. You're thinking Battlefield, Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah, that's still DICE.
And who did?
I don't know who did Squadrons.
Squadrons. Someone will know. I forget who it is. Let me see. Dead Space revival developer. EA Motive.
Okay.
And they helped develop Star Wars Battlefront 2 for EA and fully developing Star Wars Squadrons. Yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. After Squadrons, they got to be working on something.
Yep. So the fact that they are taking the studio that's done a pretty good job of taking existing IPs and making fairly well received games out of them, it does give us some hope that this Dead Space revival is not just empty air or another redux of Dead Space 3.
Yeah. And yeah, something that has a strong focus on horror.
So I guess we will, and news, they said that they would be making it clear at, where was it? Was it the PlayStation?
A State of Play?
State of Play. I think they said they would be announcing it at State of Play. I might be wrong on that. I might be mixing that up with another story. But yeah. So that'd be kind of cool if that's the case.
Yeah, especially in this age of ray traced lighting, I feel like you could get a lot out of something like Dead Space.
Absolutely. So anyway, your next item? You've got more than I do, so I only have 2.
Okay, in further news of companies being bad, Ubisoft has shut down the servers for Might and Magic X Legacy. And what that means is that now you cannot get past the first act. And this is a single-player RPG, but because it can no longer call home to the servers, you can't get past the first act of the game. So they have basically bricked a single-player game. It's everyone's fear of always online checks coming true.
I don't understand why. Okay, so they shut down the servers, and because there is a server check at the end of Act 1, you can't get past Act 1.
Yeah, it won't let you continue. Like you'd have to mod the game to get around that check. But yeah, they've basically kind of broken their own game, and it's still up for sale too on Steam, which has.
That's not okay.
Yeah,
that's not okay. You'd think that there would be some way. I mean, I understand that they have to shut down servers. When did this game come out?
I don't know.
It came out March 21st, 2013. So this is an old game.
Okay.
This is a really old game. That being said, and
you would hope that single-player games are immune to that,
right? Yes, but yes, and you'd think that they would make some kind of. Does this have any multiplayer component to it? No, it's single-player only. Yeah, this should have never had any
an online. Yeah, it shouldn't have
DRM. But knowing that there was DRM on that, you'd think that they would make some kind of contingency with the game, either to update it without the DRM or to create have something, whatever it's calling into, to kind of go, okay, you can have it.
Yeah, it's pretty bullshit.
It is pretty bullshit. Has there been any? The fact that they're still selling it seems really like this might have been an oversight on their part that they might fix, because you can't sell a game that you can't play.
Hopefully, like you would hope that it is an oversight and that they will release some sort of patch that will get rid of that.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, it's only hoping, and has more and more games, and especially Ubisoft games do a lot of always online single player stuff. This just becomes more and more of a risk.
And I'm wondering if they are. Let's see. Oh, Ubisoft says Might and Magic Legacy help. It says, according to connectivity and performance, this game doesn't need an active server connection, so jump right in. Maybe they've changed it, but I am looking right now. Let me pull it up on Ubisoft's own website. This is Ubisoft's website for Might and Magic Legacy Help. Yep, Ubisoft.com. It says connectivity and performance. This game doesn't need an active server connection, so jump right in. I'm wondering if they might have fixed that.
Maybe. Yeah, like all the news stories I see are from a couple days ago, but none of them have been updated.
Which makes me think this might have been an oversight if they did do it.
Or they just added an online check later.
Or they added an online check later. Yeah. Well, I mean, the online check later is on after chapter 1. I'm going to let you talk. I need to get some water. I'll be right back. Okay?
Okay. So, in other news, this is one thing that I think it was Blood Reaper mentioned in the Discord that I didn't necessarily have to talk about here, but I think it's worth bringing up. A cool multiplayer game that's coming out on consoles next month. That's a free-to-play game that looks like a Halo meets Portal called Splitgate. And I guess it was originally on PC under the name Splitgate: Arena Warfare, but now it's just going by Splitgate. But it seems like a really cool premise that it's kind of a multiplayer online shooter. Looks kind of a lot like Halo, except that you can throw portals onto certain surfaces and shoot through them. And so you kind of mix Portal and a first-person shooter in a way that seems like a really neat idea. And, for a free online shooter, I think it's that a cool premise is all a cool online shooter needs to at least get its foot in the door. I think I'll probably download that and check it out when it comes out, just because, yeah, that seems neat.
All right. So I am back. Anything else?
Yes. So, in further rumor news, this is coming
AC
from.
Ray says, what's it called? That game?
Splitgate.
Splitgate.
Yeah. In other, yeah. What did I say? Rumor news. Xbox era co-founder Nick Baker has tweeted out that Sucker Punch, I think it's Sucker Punch, is working on an expandalone game of Ghost of Tsushima named Ghost of Ikishima. And basically, expandalone seems to be the way that the tweet is. It almost seems like an insider terminology, because it's something that you could totally see a business suit guy coming up with, was restful like, what? No, that's stupid. But basically, it's a game like Miles Morales in that it's a big AAA budgeted game that's probably not going to release for $70, which is what Sony's default is now. And it'll probably be, it's a small scale sequel to Ghost of Tsushima. And I think that's cool. Clearly, Sucker Punch is doing more with that franchise, that IP, and it makes sense that they would want to put something out, because a lot of the PS5 library is kind of lacking, let's be honest. So putting out a kind of mini sequel to one of their biggest hits of the past couple years seems kind of a no-brainer.
And here's the tweet that started it all. So Nick, the co-founder of XboxEra.com and co-host of the Xbox Era podcast, put out Ghost of Ikushima, an expandalone type game aiming for 2021. Not sure how so many seem to find out so quick.
Yeah. And so if it's aiming for 2021, we'll probably hear about it sooner rather than later.
Right.
Also
might be something on this again on the state of play. There's a lot of things that keep coming back to the fact that Sony has not had its, I'm air quoting E3 of this year, because Xbox kind of, dropped its load a week ago, and now we're kind of waiting for PlayStation to drop its load.
Mm-hmm. And it makes sense. I could imagine that being like the big PS5 game for the end of this year, in the same way that Miles Morales kind of was.
Mm-hmm.
It also, PS5 also had Demon Souls, but Miles Morales was one of the huge selling points of the console.
Right. All right, so let's get into my other story that I have. So, Crystal Dynamics.
Oh. I feel so bad for them.
I don't. They do it to themselves. I mean, it's not like... I feel bad when mistakes happen and good people try to make it right. I don't feel bad for companies that do something stupid and then don't do the right thing to make it as right as possible. When they fuck up and they're like, man, we fucked up. We'll fix it when we fix it. So here's what happened. Thus last week, Crystal Dynamics updated Marvel's Avengers. They did this on Tuesday. Included with that content update and a bunch of other interesting, fun stuff that went along with it, probably some bug fixes, etc. There was also one serious, very potentially dangerous thing that was inside of it. Players' IP addresses were shown on the screen. Let me see if I will try and pull that up. But when you were playing the game, at the bottom of the screen was your gamer tag and your IP address showing on the screen.
I do feel like it's important to note that this only happened for the PS5 version.
On the PS5 version, right.
Yeah. Other versions of the game did not have this bug. But, if you're a streamer, then it was particularly shitty.
Yeah.
Because, you're a public persona and all of a sudden people can track you down much easier.
Right. And that was the thing. I'm trying to pull up a screenshot. Let me see if I can find one that shows you what it looks like. And of course it's not available.
But I guess silver linings, at least this happened on what I assume is like the smallest user base of this game.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't imagine.
All right, here we go.
I don't think there's even a next-gen update for Avengers yet. I thought that was coming with Black Panther.
Possibly. Yeah. All right. So here's what, and this is what Paul Tassi, the writer, the video game reporter, heard about this, went online and was like, posted this. This is legitimately shut the game off bad. So here is.
Okay, there is a PS5 version. I need to correct myself.
I don't know if you can see this down at the bottom of the screen where I'm pointing, but you can see where it says Johnny Quest 18, and then he has it blocked out of his IP address and also the date and time. So yeah, this is really, really, really dangerous. In addition to the fact that, it is that it essentially opens up many floodgates for streamers who this is their business, this is what we do, that it essentially can identify the physical location of your where you are, of the device you're using at that time. You can also initiate DDoS attacks using that. You can block certain websites using that. There's a lot of mischief that can happen with somebody knowing your IP address. And we all know streamers are usually the targets of things like swatting and DDoS attacks. This is not unheard of. They get a lot of hate sometimes. And sometimes it's not even hate. It's just people thinking it would be funny to swat your favorite streamer. So, needless to say, no one should ever want this stuff be made public, but least of all streamers. Crystal Dynamics, when they found out about this, their response was, quote, you right there?
Yeah, the cat's scratching the couch.
This is how they announced that there might be a problem. We're aware of the issue where a floating string of text appears on the screen and are investigating. Thank you for the reports. A floating string of text? This is a little more important than a floating string of text. In addition, after soft soaping what the fuck was going on and kind of hiding it from people, so you had to look a little bit farther to figure out this floating stream of text is your fucking IP address. Then they finally said, we know that there's a bug. We're going to fix it in the next 24 hours. They didn't shut it down. They didn't go further. They're like, oh, we'll and they did. They delivered a report, a bug fix on that on Wednesday morning. But still, for 24 hours, streamers, or it's not just streamers, anybody who shares their gameplay from the share button on PlayStation would have had their IP addresses exposed to the world. I would rather have my vagina hanging out than my IP address hanging out. That's how important it is. The vagina hanging out is just embarrassing. IP address is really dangerous. Is potentially like everything changing. You can have so many bad things happen because of that. So
yeah,
I'm just appalled that they didn't shut down the servers, at least for PlayStation.
See, I don't know. That feels like a very big reaction. Like to shut the whole game down for a day for this.
If it had been your bank account number, would you have thought about that? Would you think that they might want to shut it down? Because that's the equivalent.
Sure.
That is absolutely.
I don't know.
For streamers, that is absolutely the equivalent of that. That they could actually find out where they live. Like where they are, not just where they live, where they are at that moment.
I don't know if I'm watching.
Money can be recovered.
Not always.
I don't. Right, but if you lose your money, that is terrible. You lose your IP, that IP address can be really, really. God damn it! I knew it. I knew. I'm like, Nick should just go take care of the cat because he's clearly trying to halfway it. The cat is going to get into some shit. Anybody want to take any bets on what the cat's doing? I think the cat is hard. No, I think the cat has. This is beyond the diaper. Like Nick takes the diaper thing pretty easily. This was something pretty serious.
Kind of about to. He wasn't diapered. Jupiter wasn't, because he was napping, and then he woke up and almost peed on the carpet, and so I had to.
Oh, you caught him.
Yes, I caught him. I stopped him. That's why I left so fast. I saw him squat in that way that I recognize, and
is he not litter box trained?
No, he is. It's just he's not neutered, so he sprays.
Okay, so it was going to be a spray, not a pee.
This one in particular, he's gotten. Sometimes there's like a corner that he seems to like to pee in, and specifically also he's got
I
a
will bet
crate.
you your former tenant probably had an animal to spray there.
Maybe like the apartment, like I got it refreshed, like it was remodeled.
So when where I live now, I've been here for 27 years, but previous to being in this apartment, I was in the downstairs apartment, and the upstairs tenant had ferrets and used the in the bedroom. There is a walk-in, like huge, like almost second room. It's kind of a walk-in closet. She let her ferrets use the walk-in closet as a bathroom. That's where she kept the ferrets, and it was bad. My dad and I took this house down to like the baseboards because the carpet was so completely inundated and like eyes-wateringly bad. So we took out everything, we sanitized everything, we cleaned everything. I did it. I laid the carpet in that room. To this day, every time I get a new animal, and this was Zoe, this was Buddy, this is the new puppy. As soon as that dog gets in this house, the first thing they do is they walk into that room and pee in it. All the cats I've owned, same way. We did not take out the floorboards. That's the only thing we didn't do. But I think that even 27 years ago, the floorboards, I think, are still emitting whatever enzyme is there that says pee here. So it does not surprise me that.
Yeah. It seems to come and go like in waves. I feel like he's a bit more spray and pee happy as it gets hotter in the summer than in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, I've got a couple like plug-in things that are supposed to help like do a scent that prevents them from doing that. And when it's winter and all the windows are closed, that's a lot more effective than it is in the summer when all the windows are open, and so the scent doesn't quite spread as well.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, on days that it rains, you can still smell the pee. 27 years later.
Wow.
And in the summertime, when the heat hits that carpet, you can still smell it. Not much, but it's there. So we were talking about that. AC Wraith says, and he says exactly what I was thinking, and why I'm like, why wouldn't you shut this down? He says, sounds like the developers still had a pre-streaming mindset. They didn't get that this was a thing. And it's not just streamers. It's anybody who shared their video on their sharing.
Yeah.
And we're talking about, kids sharing the IP address that puts their parents at risk.
I agree it's a bad thing, but I don't know if it's shut the game down bad.
It's shut the game.
Yes, that's where I got it from. That's what he said. I don't know.
This is Paul Tassi who said this is legitimately shut the game off bad.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's legitimately shut the game off bad, and they just let it hang out there for 24 hours. So we'll see what the upshot of that is going to be.
I think if it was anyone that you get into a multiplayer match with, you can see their IP address, that would be shut the game down bad, because it's much easier to do that, and you do that with a lot more people.
More people.
Yes. Right. Being that it's you have to stream the game or share your video, that's a much narrower group of people. And so while this is bad,
honestly, to be honest, it's not that much of a narrower group of people, because we're only talking a few hundred people that are playing this game at this point.
Touche. But yeah, I feel like it's just a narrow enough window that it's not shut the game off bad.
Yep. Well, I would disagree. I would be on the other side of that, if only to protect yourself from what is inevitably going to be a class action lawsuit. If anybody loses $1 or there are any repercussions from this, you can bet that there's going to be a lawsuit, and that the fact that they did not remove it after 24 hours shows
They
reckless
did remove it at the
disregard.
24 hours.
No, for 24 hours, this bug existed.
Well, yeah, but they did remove it after 24 hours, which
After
I feel like is
24 hours, right?
I feel like that's a pretty good turnaround for a patch.
That's pretty good turnaround for a patch, but given the leak of this security at this level, it should have been done as soon as they found out that IP addresses were being displayed.
I mean,
Because
it did. It probably takes them 24 hours to do that.
no, they knew about it, and then it took 24. They're like, we'll deliver the patch tomorrow. So for 24 hours between it happening and the patch coming out, that was still happening.
Yeah,
and
I don't
if
think
there are
they
any
found out about
repercussions
it.
from that, there's going to be a class action suit, and you can bet that this is going to be called reckless disregard for privacy. For personal information.
When they spent those 24 hours like working on fixing the patch and updating it, and not just like, oh yeah, it took us 10 minutes to fix and then we sat on our ass for 23 hours. I don't think that.
No, they didn't sit on their
timeline
ass
was
for
like.
they didn't sit on their ass for 23 hours, but they didn't shut it down.
Oh yeah, well it all comes
If
back
my
to
vaccination status was out in the world for like displayed somewhere, they would shut it down immediately. Now that's because of HIPAA, that there's actually a law for that, specifically that information that codifies huge loss fines for that. But I would rather people know my vaccination status freely for 24 hours than I would rather know them know my IP address. And that's fine.
Sure. I feel like those are apples and oranges.
It is and it isn't. It is apples and oranges in that there's one law specifically outlining that there are fines to be had for this, and no specific law for your IP address being displayed like this. But when you compare the importance of this information, I would rather have someone have my medical history than have my IP address. Just saying.
Okay.
One of them would be way more destructive to my life than than the other. I would rather have my vagina hanging out for 24 hours than have my IP address out there. You can quote me on that. You can make a t-shirt if you like.
Oh, okay.
Forget Your Life says, I think everybody knows VD's vac status by now. I would rather have you have my mental health records than have my IP address, because my mental health records is just embarrassing. I will get over that. My IP address could actually be used to hurt me still, and until I, got a whole new bunch of stuff, it would be bad. I'm assuming that the woe comes from that Forget Your Life has just put in the chat, comes from the fact that I would rather have my vagina out. Yeah, I would absolutely.
Yeah. That's I feel like those are
two different things. Oh, very different
extreme.
things.
Yes,
very different.
I don't think it's
one is way more
comparable.
valuable. The other is way more used. So you can figure out which one we're talking about.
Anyways,
so
in better news, in good news, happy news.
We need some of that.
After announcing and revealing Battlefield 2042, it seems like the player count on PC for Battlefield 4, the last modern day Battlefield game, spiked to a point that EA has said, hey, we've seen that the queues are getting a little long. we're going to increase server capacity for the US region. And that's cool. It's cool to see like this older game kind of getting a swell of popularity in anticipation for the new one, and also cool that EA responded in a way that's like, hey, we're gonna make this easier for everyone.
Right.
We're gonna make it so you can play this game instead of doing a Ubisoft and making it so you can't play it.
Yeah, and I can see it when just watching this trailer, and it says that what a good trailer this was. That it really understood what Battlefield is to players as opposed to the the developers themselves. It's all about doing crazy ass shit. And it made me want to go like, oh fuck, that looks like so much fun. Let's go.
And
do
the thing
that.
is, like, I was not the biggest fan of Battlefield 4. But this did make me, like, hearing this news did make me actually want to go back and play it.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I should give it a second chance.
Yeah, I could go back and play it.
Considering no one is playing Bad Company 2 anymore.
Nope. Well, no, the one guy that kept on killing me repeatedly because my teammate wouldn't help.
That's true. There's like 5 people playing Bad Company 2.
It is, yep. But bless their hearts, the servers are still there.
They are. And I do assume if EA shuts down those servers and you can no longer play Bad Company 2 multiplayer, you'll still be able to play the campaign.
Yep.
Because that's the point.
That's the point. Hey, if you want to play Battlefield 4, you can do that tonight.
Yeah, well, I thought we'd do Dark Alliance.
Oh, okay, that's right. We're gonna do Dark Alliance.
Yeah. Either way, I'll probably download on Xbox.
Oh god, this looks like so much fun. This reminds me why I like Battlefield so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, it was definitely a good trailer, and evidence that I hope that. Well, I mean, I don't hope Call of Duty can go fuck itself because fuck Activision, but yeah, it's kind of nice to see the developer figuring out why we play the game, not why they want us to play the game.
Yeah. Speaking of Call of Duty,
Mm-hmm.
I have one fun story involving Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
I guess after the launch of Season 4, which happened just a couple days ago, players found a weird bug that basically there was a door in the level, and anyone who touched the door died. And people started kind of affectionately referring to it as the murder door. And there are videos of people running up, and it's not a door that you can go through. Like, it's a part of the level that the door itself is blocked off with a plank of wood. So, like, you cannot go through it. It's not meant to be interactive in any way, but there are videos of people walking up, running into the door, and then just dying. And they have since patched the game and gotten rid of the murder door. But honestly, I feel like as far as bugs go, I think it would be cool to keep a mysterious murder door in the level, since it's not something anyone will like accidentally
It's
run
actually
across.
called the death door. It's not the murder door. I looked up. It's the death door.
Is it? Oh, I guess there's a couple articles. There's a Kotaku one they call it the murder door.
I think it probably goes by both names. So let's see if we can find out where this. How long is this thing? How long? Oh, it's only 1 minute. All right, so it's going along, jumping all over. Yay, running. Thank you for the speeding up. There's the guy. He's down. There's this door. He's looking at the door.
And it's not a door that you would
revives his
logically try
buddy,
to go through.
and his buddy touches the door and dies. Then you revive the door, and he gets up, and he touches the door, and he goes out. Okay, yeah, that would be a murder door.
Yeah, I think they should have kept it in.
The friend goes back and touches it again. Okay, let's revive you. These two guys are repeatedly touching the door.
I mean, they keep getting experience for reviving each other.
Yeah, that's true. Could do that. It's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah,
As far as
definitely a
bugs
murder
go,
door.
There are, let's show you IP address for 24 hours, and then there's doors that kill you.
Hey, murder door is funny.
Yes.
The murder door is hilarious. Let's see. Anything else? Oh, thanks for that. The murder door. There's the links for all the things that we talked about that I didn't go. Again, Goalie in the chat room who said 600 bitches. Nice job. Yeah, 600.
Yeah. Thank you.
Getting old, my friend. Getting old.
And
And
it was there for most of
Dave,
them.
you want to know how the puppy's doing? I bought these glasses and got them in the mail. 4 hours later, I found them in the center. I don't know if you can see, like they're like floppy. 4 hours later, I found them in the center of my dining room, chewed up. So I didn't even own these glasses 4 hours before the dog attacked them. Bypassed my old glasses to get to the new glasses on the coffee table and chew the shit out of them. That's how the puppy's doing. The puppy is that close to being murdered by the murder Edie.
You're gonna throw the puppy into the door?
I'm gonna throw the puppy into the murder door. Yeah, little bitch. God, that fucking dog. That fucking dog. And just she'll lull you into think I'm through the chewing phase. I'm out of it now. I'm all grown up. See how grown up I am? I am. Why don't you go to the bathroom? Go to the bathroom. Come on, go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom. Leave the glasses on the coffee table. Go. Annoying fucking dog. Yeah. So now she has gone through 2 Ethernet cables, a $90 silk sleep mask.
The floor.
The hardwood floor. Yeah, she chewed through the hardwood floor in the other room with Daddy looking on. And now a $70 pair of glasses. No, this was a $70 pair. Yeah. So thank goodness I didn't pay much for these. By the way, we don't have a sponsorship with them, but I will throw them an absolute bone for endorsement.
I buy
direct. Shit ton of glasses. They've got this cool feature where you take a picture of yourself and then you can try on the glasses, your picture. You'd like to try the glasses to see if they look good on you. Pretty darn accurate. And way the fuck cheaper than going through your dispensing optometrist. And sorry, dispensing optometrists, but yeah, these guys are way less expensive. Great frames. Super. I think I ordered them 2 weeks ago, so super fast, faster than if I'd have gone to my dispensing optometrist. And we'll see about the quality, but so far I'm super happy with the glasses I got. So yeah, I buy direct. That's the company.
Regarding puppies, Goalie mentions that CJ took a dump on his 360 headphones as a puppy, right on the controls. Oh, that sounds terrible.
Oh yeah, no, and she's also chewed through the thumbsticks on my Xbox Series X.
Oh no!
Well, not all the way through. Here, stand by. I will show you.
So yeah, can you still play it?
Yeah.
And speaking of pets, why do you keep going off? You gonna do there?
So I found the controller in the middle of the dining room. She leaves this stuff in the middle, like so fast, and she knows she's wrong because all you do, like when you finally go into that room, you don't see her. You just see the evidence of her, and it's like I was out of the room for 30 seconds. You were literally just there. You knew. So she didn't.
Shit, I can see
what. You can see that there's no
on the right.
Yep, there's no pad on this one right here. This one has no pad on it, and then this one has been. I don't know if you can see the damage to it.
Couple marks on it.
Yep, that this is sticking out. You can see the little bit of it sticking out. So yeah, so I need to get a thumb pad cover.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say I've got a couple of those.
That's what I figured.
On the PlayStation ones. So there's at least a way to replace that. That's like pretty cheap.
Yeah, it's not that horrible, but if it hadn't been more than 30 seconds, then I would be getting a whole new one.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, she's fast, and she did that with me standing in the room next to her. I was on the other side of my computer screens right there, and she did it. right there.
Ninja chewing.
Yep, right there is where I found it. And it's like I heard some noise and then I sat up and looked and she's gone. She heard me sitting up and was like, boop, I'm out.
A little puff of smoke.
A little puff of smoke as she left. Like a little like the little Looney Tunes Roadrunners, like the
little outline. You just saw like
pow.
a little cloud shaped like her.
Mm-hmm. Yep. With a little written in there, yipe. In Comic Sans. So yeah, that's what I got. Anything else you got for story?
No, that's all the news.
That's all news I got. Short day. It's not the same without Andrew or Goalie. It really isn't.
I mean, we've been going for 2 hours. That's
true. 4:30. That's not bad. That's a pretty reasonable amount. So obviously we're gonna go back and play Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance as a multiplayer today. You want to do that tonight, this afternoon, before we have dinner?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So go load that shit up, and then we'll play it, and then let's make a plan sometime this week to do Call of Duty.
Call of Duty?
Call of Duty.
Oh,
Battlefield.
Yeah.
Battlefield 4. Let's play some Battlefield. It's been a while since I've done a first-person shooter. And yeah, it's getting to be. It is summer, I guess. Technically, you got your what's the word I want? Air filter.
Air filter. Yeah, I got an air filter. I got a swamp cooler. I'm waiting for like the fires to get bad and heat waves to consume us all.
Anybody in the chat room in the Pacific Northwest? Like, even better, Portland. Holy crap. What's the temperature right now in Portland? We're talking about Portland, Oregon. Temperature right now, Portland. Temperature right now in Portland, Oregon is only 97 degrees. What was the high today? Oh, that's at 10 p.m. tonight. Right now, Monday, right now is... Yep. Forget your life as in Oregon. He says it's 110 degrees there. Dude, is the asphalt melting?
Wow.
Yeah, 110 degrees in Portland. Their all-time record high was 107. Like the hottest it has ever been in the state. And it's 110 there today. And Dave says that Digital to Dice is going to hit 100th show in August. That's great. That's so awesome. AC Ray says, I miss my air conditioner. We keep turning it on, but it's not working.
That sucks.
Like it was. And sometimes it gets icy. Can't afford to fix it. That may be servicing it, not actually a repair. I will look into that. I have a really good friend that's a HVAC repairman, and that sounds. And I wish I knew, but it sounds familiar. We had that same problem. I don't have an air conditioner, but my tenants do, and our HVAC guy remembers like, oh yeah. You just need to change this, and this, and that most people don't do it. So. But yeah, congratulations to her Digital to Dice podcast. By the way, if you want to find Digital to Dice podcast, I recommend, it's a video cast. Goalie plays a ton of, let me pull it up here. He plays a ton of tabletop games, usually sports, but not exclusively. Sometimes it's card games, but it's usually sports games, and plays full games. And of course, he's got that, voice that is made for calling sports, and he's got a really, really good knack for doing it. It's like he was born to do it. So he calls the whole, like if he's playing a hockey game, he will call the hockey game as if it is a actual, real life game. But if you are ever interested in Digital to Dice podcast, you can check it out. You can find it on youtube.com. Look up digital to dice. Here's all of his just as an example of his games. I mean, the NHL playoff game. I don't know which actual game you're playing, but APBA hockey, where he's actually playing card games. Just a ton of great stuff. So you can check it out by going to Digital to Dice podcast on YouTube. He does a lot of shows. Check it out. Thank you very much. There's the link in the description. If Forget Your Life says, yeah, it's hot as fuck. They're calling it the heat dome. Yeah, we had the heat dome here last week. Was it last week? The one that was in the Pacific Southwest and the Bay Area got caught in that one, but we never cracked 80. We never cracked 90 degrees, but I'm right on the water. Okay. Nick, did you get hot last week?
I mean, it was hot, but
yeah,
I don't think it wasn't awful.
Yeah, I was literally 83 degrees. 3 miles that way was 102.
Okay, yeah. Like it's gone up to 80 and a little bit higher here, but I'm waiting for like 90 to 100 plus. Hey.
Yeah, we're expecting that. Climate change is real. And
come on out.
So are going to be the wildfires. All right, so let's close this out. That way you can start downloading Dark Alliance, and I can start working out my thumbs, getting ready.
And clearly now that Jupiter's woken up from his nap, he's like, yo, pay attention.
Yeah, now it's time for you to be on Jupiter duty. So let's close this out. You've been listening to GameHounds, episode 600, motherfuckers. 600. We did record this on Sunday, June 27th, 2021. I've been your host, Edie Sellers. With me has been Nick DeNicola. If you ever want to get a hold of us, it is gamehounds.net. That's our website. Gamehounds@gmail.com is our email. We record this show live every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on Spreaker. That's speaker with an R, Spreaker.com. That's where the audio show is. By the way, every single thing we mentioned, even in passing, if you want the link to it, AC Wraith is our link bitch. He is in Spreaker. He's also in our video shows, providing all of the links to all the games, all the articles, everything we mentioned. Thank you again for doing that, AC Wraith. But if you don't want to watch us live, video wise, we are on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. On Facebook and Twitch, we are the GameHounds. On YouTube, we are GameHounds Vids, VIDS. This video part of the show is 100% funded by you, our listeners, through Patreon. You can find our Patreon. We only ask for $1 a month. That's, we've been doing this for 600 episodes. That's all we ask, $1 a month to help fund all of the subscriptions that are required in order to do the video show. So you can find that at patreon.com/GameHounds. We thank you. We'd appreciate that if you can. If you can't, that's cool. But if you can, we do love to have that. So that way we can pay for all the other cool stuff. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're watching this on the video, don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you're watching it, whether it be on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch. If you are listening to this audio, please, or whether it be as a podcast on iTunes or iHeartRadio or Google Play or your Alexa or Google devices, please leave us some feedback, hit a like, whatever that particular platform allows you to do. Do it so that other people can find us and we can grow this show. Because even though we've been doing it for 600 episodes, we still like to see new people find and discover us. Thanks so much, Nick. We will have a great week. I will talk to you in a little bit, and maybe we'll even stream it on Twitch. So keep your eyes open for that, everybody. Have a great night, everyone. Have a really good week. Be safe. Get yourself vaccinated. Bye-bye. All right, audio is out, video still going.
All of a sudden, Jupiter stopped meowing, and I'm I'm suspicious.
Yeah. The only thing worse than them making a lot of noise is them going quiet.
Yeah. Oh wait, there
That's
he
when
is.
that's when
Okay.
shit like this happens.
Yeah.
Is when they go quiet.
Now I see him. He's on the counter sniffing at a candle.
All right. Well, I will let you go deal with your errant cat. I'm gonna go check out where the fuck the puppy is because I can't see her,
Okay.
and that really makes me nervous. I'm hoping she's with Dad.
Okay. Yep. I'll start
See-
downloading the game and I'll let you know when it's done.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.